In February 1959, 9 Soviet hikers entered the northern Ural Mountains and never came back. Later, search teams found their bodies scattered across the snow near a place now known as Dyatlov Pass. Some were barely dressed, some had terrible injuries, and no one could explain why experienced hikers would leave their tent in the freezing dark, like they were running from something they could not fight. The official case blamed a powerful natural force, but that answer never satisfied anyone. Years later, the mystery catches the attention of Holly King, a psychology student at the University of Oregon. What starts as a class documentary soon becomes something much bigger. Holly wants to retrace the path of the original hikers and record what really happened on that mountain. Her cameraman and closest partner on the project is Jensen, who does not buy the official story at all. To him, too many details feel buried, twisted, or quietly erased. If 9 trained hikers died in such a strange way, then someone either lied about it or never understood it in the first place. Holly and Jensen build a small team for the trip. Andy and JP are the climbers, both confident enough to believe they can handle brutal terrain. Denise joins as the sound engineer. All 5 spend months preparing, training in the snow, studying the route, and gathering supplies before finally leaving Oregon for Russia. Then, the film abruptly jumps forward. A Russian news report announces that 5 American students from Oregon have gone missing in the same mountains. Search crews have found the remains of their campsite, along with their personal equipment, but not the students themselves. Experts immediately begin throwing out theories. Some say harsh weather. Some say wild animals. Some blame aliens. Local Mansi villagers speak in a much darker tone. They believe the mountain is a place where worlds overlap, a cursed point where people can cross into something beyond human understanding. Then comes the creepiest part. Authorities recover video footage shot by the missing students but refuse to release it. Soon, hackers leak parts of it online. In the leaked clips, Holly is terrified, crying in the darkness while Jensen tries to calm her down. She sounds like someone who already knows they are not getting off that mountain alive. Then the story rewinds 1 month earlier. The group arrives in Russia and continues by train toward the small settlement closest to the pass. Along the way, they film everything, joke around, and act like this is the start of an adventure that could make their names famous. But once they get closer to the mountain, the mood starts changing. Their first stop is a psychiatric facility where they hope to speak with Pyotr Karov, the one member of the original 1959 expedition who turned back before the deaths. He should have been the perfect witness. Instead, the staff angrily shut them down and claim he is dead. But through a window upstairs, the students spot an old man holding a handwritten sign. Before they can fully understand it, orderlies pull him away. Later, at a local bar, they finally learn what the message said: stay away. The warning comes from Sergey, a local truck driver who speaks English and agrees to help them reach the trail. On the road, he takes them to visit his aunt, one of the people involved in the original search back in 1959. What she tells them is worse than any rumor. According to her, the authorities did not find 9 bodies on the mountain. They found 11, and near the extra bodies was some kind of machine or device that never appeared in the official reports. That is the moment the trip stops feeling like a student project. Now, it feels like they are walking straight into a cover-up. Sergey drops them off at the last point vehicles can reach, and from there the group continues on foot into the snow. As night falls, they set up camp and try to keep the mood light. They eat, joke, and talk about all the old theories surrounding Dyatlov Pass. There were reports of glowing orange lights in the sky before the original hikers died. Some blamed the military. Others blamed creatures. No one around the fire truly says it out loud, but all of them are thinking the same thing. Something happened here, and whatever it was never explained. The next morning, they wake up to footprints circling the tents. At first glance, they look human, but they are too large, completely barefoot, and make no sense in that temperature. Even stranger, the tracks do not lead in or out. They simply appear, then vanish, as if whatever made them dropped from the sky and disappeared the same way. That should have been enough to turn back. Instead, they keep going. Soon they find an abandoned weather station surrounded by the same impossible tracks. Inside, waiting in the cold like some silent warning, is a severed human tongue. Denise is badly shaken and wants to leave. For the first time, the group's excitement starts cracking. Jensen tries to explain it away by talking about strange mountain winds and low-frequency sound, the kind that can make people panic, lose direction, or even lose their minds. He remembers hearing about places where the wind itself seems to drive people mad. Holly listens, then admits something she has kept to herself. Before this trip, she used to dream about this place: snow, mountains, and a dark doorway leading into nothing. That is why she feels so strangely pulled toward Dyatlov Pass. Not just because of the mystery, but because some part of her feels like she was always meant to end up here. And while they are standing there, trying to make sense of the weather station, the camera quietly catches something horrifying in the distance. Two human figures are running across the snow far behind them. A little later, the group finally reaches Dyatlov Pass itself. This is the exact place where the 9 Soviet hikers made their last camp in 1959. Standing in the snow, Holly shows the others where the bodies were found and why the case never stopped haunting people. Some of the hikers were discovered near the tent. Others were found much farther away, like they had fled into the darkness with no real plan. A few seemed to die from the cold, but others had injuries that made no sense at all. Crushed ribs, fractured skulls. One woman was even missing her tongue, and somehow, those massive internal injuries came without the kind of outside damage you would expect. That is what makes the whole thing feel wrong. It was not just a mountain accident. Something happened out here. Then the group notices something else that should not be possible. According to their watches and the distance they covered, they reached the pass far too early. By their own calculations, they should not be here yet. On top of that, the GPS stops making sense. The compass refuses to point the right way, and suddenly even the mountain feels like it is twisting their sense of direction. Andy wants to get out immediately. JP agrees. They came here to shoot a documentary, not die in the same place as the people they are studying. But Holly refuses to leave. To her, this is the breakthrough they came for. If the mountain is reacting to them, then they are finally close to the truth. Against their better judgment, the others stay. That night, Holly and Jensen check the area with a radiation meter. At first, it barely reacts. Then, it suddenly starts jumping. The signal leads them higher up the slope to a rock formation half buried in snow. As they clear some of it away, they find something impossible hidden in the mountain. A metal door. Not an old wooden shelter. Not a natural cave. A sealed bunker. Jensen immediately wants to back off. Nothing about this feels normal, and if someone buried a steel door under the snow out here, they did it for a reason. But Holly is too deep into the mystery now. She tries the handle, and after some effort they realize the door is not really locked. It is just jammed by ice. They decide not to tell the others yet. If the team is already nervous, news of a hidden bunker in the exact place where the Dyatlov group died would push everyone over the edge. So Holly and Jensen keep quiet and return to camp. By morning, everything falls apart. A deafening roar tears through the mountain, and before anyone fully understands what is happening, an avalanche crashes toward them. Denise is killed almost instantly. Andy is hit hard and badly injured. Their tents are destroyed. Much of their gear is lost, and in a matter of seconds, the trip turns from a documentary into a fight to stay alive. Panic spreads fast. Everyone starts shouting over everyone else, trying to make sense of what just happened. But Holly is already thinking about the bunker. She finally reveals what she and Jensen found the night before, and the others are furious. While they were sleeping out in the open, there may have been shelter just up the slope. With no other option left, they fire a flare and hope someone sees it. The orange light streaking across the sky suddenly gives Holly another chilling thought. Those orange lights people reported in 1959 may not have been some natural phenomenon after all. They may have been distress flares too. Not long after, 2 men appear in the distance. At first it looks like rescue has arrived. Then Andy notices the detail that gives them away. No backpacks, no equipment, no sign they made the same brutal climb. These men did not wander up here by chance. They came for them. Andy orders the others to run while he stays behind. A moment later, the strangers open fire. Andy is shot and drops in the snow. The rest of the group rushes toward the bunker. JP is hit during the scramble, but Holly and Jensen manage to drag him inside and slam the heavy door shut behind them. Now they are trapped underground. They turn on the power and dim lights flicker through a maze of tunnels. What they find below does not look like a shelter. It looks like a buried research facility. Old machinery lines the walls. There are files, military documents, and records that point to experiments no one was ever supposed to see. Some papers suggest Soviet scientists were trying to unlock some kind of teleportation or dimensional travel. There are reports on soldiers, strange incidents, and test subjects who clearly did not survive whatever was done down here. JP is in terrible shape and cannot go much farther, so Holly and Jensen promise they will find a way out and come back for him. As they move deeper into the bunker, the place becomes even worse. They find blood. They find cages. They find dead soldiers, one of them missing his tongue, which finally explains what they saw earlier in the weather station. And then they find something that makes the whole nightmare turn upside down. A camera. Their camera. Same model. Same damage. Same recordings. At first, Jensen thinks it is impossible. Then he checks the footage. It contains the same material they have been filming on this trip. That is when the fear changes. this is no longer just a hidden base in the mountain. This place is bending time. Before they can fully process it, they hear JP screaming. They run back and find him being attacked by two horrifying creatures. By the time Holly and Jensen reach him, it is already too late. The creatures have killed JP. They look almost human, but only barely. Thin, ruined bodies, skin stretched tight over bone, faces twisted beyond recognition. And the worst part is the way they move. They do not run like normal creatures. They seem to vanish and reappear from one spot to another, like space itself is skipping for them. Holly and Jensen try to fight them off, but it is useless. The creatures are too fast. They do not even seem interested in simply killing them. Instead, they keep forcing them in a specific direction, almost like they are hurting them somewhere. Holly and Jensen run through another passage and burst into a cavern unlike anything they have seen before. In front of them is a huge circular opening in the rock, smooth and unnatural, like a tunnel carved into the mountain by something far older than the bunker around it. Holly throws a piece of debris into it. The tunnel reacts. The object disappears. That is when they understand the horrible truth. The Soviets did not create the mystery in this mountain. They only found it. The strange drawings around the chamber suggest this tunnel was already here long before the bunker existed. The Soviet military simply built around it, hoping they could study it, control it, and use it for their own experiments. But whatever this thing is, it is not just a tunnel. It is a doorway through time. With the mutants closing in and no way back, Holly and Jensen make the only choice left. They step into the tunnel. The next moment, they appear outside the bunker in 1959, badly injured and barely alive. Nearby, a young Alia sees them in the snow. She is the same woman who, many years later, tells the students that the search team found 11 bodies instead of 9. Now, we finally understand what she meant. The 2 extra bodies were Holly and Jensen. Soviet soldiers quickly arrive and take their bodies inside the bunker. Their clothes, camera, and equipment make no sense for 1959, so the soldiers treat them like strange test subjects. They strip the bodies, examine them, and hang them up inside the facility. Then the camera shows Holly's angel wing tattoo. It is really her. And this is where the final twist becomes clear. The 2 mutants were never random creatures hiding in the bunker. They were Holly and Jensen. After going through the portal, they were thrown back into 1959, trapped inside the Soviet facility, and slowly changed into the same horrifying creatures that had been chasing them the whole time. That means the barefoot tracks near the camp were made by their future selves. The figures running in the distance were also them. Even Holly's dreams were not just dreams. They were pieces of the time loop trying to come back to her. In the end, Holly and Jensen did not discover the secret of Dyatlov Pass. They became part of it. The mountain keeps its mystery alive because anyone who gets too close is pulled into the same endless loop.